Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn about a few more different types of statements and the symbols that go with them. Let's start by reviewing what we did last time. So an implication or a conditional statement is a statement made from combining two propositions. Those are just those really tiny statements, something like the unicorn is pink, or the sky is blue, or Jack's hair is brown. And we use the words if then to combine them to make the implication or the conditional statement. The other statements that we learned is the converse. So if P then Q with an arrow is the original statement, the converse would be if Q then P. We switch the location of the P and Q. We change the order. CO at the beginning there helps you to remember that. So CO, we change the order. For the inverse, we negate them both. So if the original was if P then Q, then the inverse is not if not P, then not Q. And for the contrapositive, we negate and change. We do both things. So the contrapositive, if the original was if P then Q, the contrapositive would be not if not Q, then not P. Negate and switch. Okay, so for the new ones, an if-then statement isn't the only kind of statement that can be made by combining premises. A conjunction is a statement made from combining two propositions using the word and. A disjunction is a statement made from combining two propositions using the word or. A biconditional is a statement made from combining a conditional statement and its converse using the words if and only if. Let's try that again. Which can often be shortened to IFF, if and only if. Okay, so let's look at some examples of all of our different types of statements now. I chose two statements to use for this that are just kind of silly, that don't really matter if they're true or false, just so we can focus on the type of statements that we're making and you're not worrying about whether it makes sense. So statement number 1, my cat is pretty. Statement number 2, today is Monday. Let's put these, use these examples to go through the different types of statements that we have. So the first one, let's just look at what it means to have the negation of a statement. So for the first one, if we negated it, it would be my cat is not pretty. And the second one, if we negated that, would just say today is not Monday. For the symbols, if we called my cat is pretty P, then my cat is not pretty would be not P, which is just that tilde symbol in the front, meaning not. If today is Monday is Q, then the symbol for that would just be not Q. And then don't forget, if there was the word not in the original, if it had said today is not Monday, then the negation would just be today is Monday, and it would still be not Q for that. Okay, for the conditional or the implication, we're going to turn that into an if-then statement. So we would just say, if my cat is pretty, then today is Monday. All right, and the symbols for this is just P, arrow Q, but again, we read that as if P, then Q. All right, for the conjunction, this was the and statement. So the conjunction would say, my cat is pretty, and today is Monday. And for the symbols for this, the symbol for and is an upside down V, or you can think of it as like you're writing the letter A for and, but no line across it. That stands for and. So P and Q, written in that way. All right, the disjunction, this was the or. my cat is pretty, or today is Monday. This time it's a regular V, kind of a big V. That's the word or. So you would just say P or Q when you read that out loud, but this time it's an upward facing V. All right, and the last new one is the biconditional. And this would say, my cat is pretty if and only if today is Monday. You could also write, my cat is pretty, and then you could write IFF, and that would stand for if and only if today is Monday. Both of those would be acceptable when you wrote it out in words. For the symbol, it's P and then a double-ended arrow into Q. So the double-ended arrow means if and only if. All right, to review the ones that we learned last time, we've got the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. So if our original was, if my cat is pretty, then today is Monday. For the converse, we're going to switch that order up. We're going to change the order, CO, change the order, and it will say, if today is Monday, then my cat is pretty. And the symbols for this would just be Q to P, or if Q, then P. All right, remember the inverse was to negate. So if my cat is not pretty, then today is not Monday. And the symbols here would be not P. If not P, then not Q. And the last one, the contrapositive, was to switch and negate. So we would say, if my cat, if today is not Monday, then my cat is not pretty. And the symbols would be if not Q, then not P. Okay, let's just practice with our new symbols and the words that they stand for. So we've got some examples at the top of some simple statements, and then down here we're going to write the symbolic form of each statement. The first one just says there is not a full moon. So we look around up here and we see right here there is a full moon would be M. So there is not a full moon, that would just be not M. Number 2, if you found a lucky penny, then you will not have homework tonight. If you found a lucky penny, that is going to be our C. And you will not have homework tonight. Right there, you don't have homework tonight. So let's make sure we get all the right negations in here. So you found a lucky penny. That will be C. And if then, so we have an arrow. And you will not have homework tonight. That's already built into this, the don't in there. So we just have to put an H. If C, then H. All right, number 3. If you did not do your homework, if you didn't do your homework, so that would be like this. You completed your homework, but that'd be the opposite. If you did not do your homework, that's going to turn into not W. Then you won't get pizza for lunch. Well, let's see. This one says that you will have pizza for lunch. So since you're not going to have pizza for lunch, now we have to do not P. All right, I think you get the idea. I want you to pause the video and do 4 through 8 by yourself, and then come back and check. See how you did. Good luck. All right, welcome back. Take a moment and check over number 4 through 8 and see how you did. All right, for these examples, now we're going to go from the symbols to the words. So they've given us the symbols and we have to write out the sentence that it really means. So we have, for number 6, we have not P to not C. Not P, well, P is you have pizza for lunch. So not P would be that you didn't have pizza for lunch. And for not C, we've got C is you found a lucky penny. So not C would be that you didn't find a lucky penny. So let's put this into words. So if you didn't have pizza for lunch, then you didn't find a lucky penny. If you didn't have pizza for lunch, then you didn't find a lucky penny. All right, let's look at number 7. We have not H. Well, H was you don't have homework tonight. That's just plain H. We put 2 nots in front of it. 2 nots basically cancel each other out. So they don't really even do anything. So for this, it's really just going to be H. And H is already telling us that we don't have homework tonight. All right, number 8. We have W, and then that symbol is and. Remember, it looks like an A without the line drawn across it. So W and J. At the top, W is you completed your homework. And then the and J is your locker gets jammed. So we don't need an if here. It just says you completed your homework and your locker gets jammed. All right, I want you to pause the video, take a moment to write down the sentences for 9 and 10, and then check back in and see how you did. Okay, take a moment and check your sentence answer for number 9 and 10. Okay, I have a few more examples to try of changing from words to symbols. At least these have the least amount of writing. I'm going to let you try most of these by yourself, but there's a couple that I wanted to point out that we haven't talked about yet. I want everyone to look down at number 3. Number 3 says, it is false that 6 is prime or even. And then number 6, it is not true that 6 is prime or 7 is prime. When you see the statement like it is false or it is not true at the beginning, what that's going to do is it's going to put the tilde, the not symbol, in the front, and then we're going to need parentheses. So let's look at number 3. It is false that 6 is prime or even. We're going to put the not symbol, it is false, and then we're going to have parentheses, and we're going to show 6 is prime. Well, 6 is prime is P, and then or even, so 6 being even would be Q. So we're going to put our or symbol in between. It looks like that. So it is not true comes in the front, or it is false that 6 is prime or even goes in parentheses. Similar for number 6. It is not true, and then we have our parentheses, that 6 is prime or 7 is prime. All right, I want you to go ahead and finish these examples from 1 through 8 that we didn't do, and then also do the 1 through 6 below it. There will be a link on your Schoology page with an answer key so you can check over all of these examples. Have a great day.